All right. Hi, everybody. This is the third meeting, right, Alex? Of this.
Number three. Yes, the third. Yes.
Okay. So we are going to talk about the last today. Yeah. So luxury, basically. Yeah. I see a lot of women here. I don't know if there's a connection. Oh, this is a bad Italian joke. Yeah, just to start the meeting. Yeah. Okay. All right. So. Just to check, do you know something about the last as a capital scene or as the etymology or something? Do you want to share, Alex?
I just want to share that I have trouble create having translating it to Romanian.
How do you say in Romanian?
We say dorință, which is more like desire.
Oh, interesting.
Think it's also poftă, poftă în română,
But
lust.
let me ask
That's
you,
true.
the name in Romanian is not about an excess of desire, is a desire in itself, right? So
Yes.
it doesn't have a bad connotation.
No.
All right.
But we have this fruit. What they said is the emotion, is not the sin.
So you don't have a correspondent translation.
Yes, we have. That's true.
Oh, you have it. Alex, you didn't know this name?
I know this through. I think it's something else. That's why I said I started with saying I have difficulty to translate lust specifically.
Okay. Can you make the difference between what Bogdan proposed and last?
Yeah. Um, what Bogdan proposed, this thrill is an action, and lust is more of an intense, excessive emotion.
Okay, which action it is connected to sex, I guess. That action, no?
Yeah, usually it is. This thrill has a strong connotation of sex.
Okay. But do you have this idea in Romania that oh, there is someone else coming? All right. Okay. Anyway, uh, it's interesting because in the etymology of lust, there was not, let's say, a bad connotation, yeah, in the original meaning of this word. So in the old English, lust was meant like in Romanian, desire. It was like pleasure or like even sometimes joy and delight. So it wasn't bad and it wasn't sexual. It was a desire, maybe a strong desire, but not in a bad connotation. And in a way, only later, especially during in Middle English, so let's say in Middle Ages, yeah, uh, the meaning of this idea was narrowed a bit, and it was connected to sexual desire, so carnal appetite, yeah, which is a bit the dominant meaning today, except in Romanian, by the way. But yes, that's the connection with. So the word that you proposed me before is not connected with sex, right?
Which one?
The first you proposed that means just desire.
Yeah, it's not connected to sex.
So is in general when you desire something, right? Can be
Yes.
food, it can be money, it can be sex.
Yes.
All right, okay.
People are very inspired by the subject.
Because there are coming a lot people, yeah.
No, they're raising their hand and they're.
Okay, oh, let me see, because tell me if someone want to speak. Okay, I see Anka now.
Yes, I found this word that Bogdan proposed very interesting because it's a compound word that's coming from through is actually reins, like what the horses have. And this through seems like it's something that you are not able to hold the reins. And I think in this sense, even if it's more usual to talk about sexual pleasure, it's also applicable to, for example, food or everything that you cannot keep in control. That's excessive.
Yeah, in a way, it's the opposite of temperance. Yeah,
Yeah,
is when you tend to exaggerate in doing something, right?
yeah,
Yeah, it's the lack of control.
yes, exactly. Because
Yeah.
reins are the thing that you keep the horse with so it doesn't run away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, there is so then, okay, there is a connection with that, with the idea of lust. Yeah, yes. So, but I'm surprised that some people didn't remember this word, like Alex. How do you explain that, Anka? Is Alex so inside this scene that he doesn't see it, or there is something else?
Well, I suppose it's the first thing when you hear the word because it's been used like a sexual uh, exaggeration most of the time. But looking at the word, it says like not being able to keep your control. And it could be uh, extrapolated to other things that you cannot control.
Okay, but it's strange also because you are Christians there mostly, right? In Romania. You are or Orthodox, I guess. Yeah,
Yes.
but still for Christians, it's one of the seven capital sins, deadly sins. So it should be popular. I mean, in Italy, it is popular. So that's why I was a bit surprised about this. But okay, probably you have more general meaning, yeah, more exaggeration basically of desire in general. That's the idea. It's not specific to sex.
Yeah, it's mostly used to sex. But for example, if you make a party, sometimes we say, and it was so much food, it was a desfrue.
Okay, all
Like
right. Yeah,
it's not so commonly used, but it's used.
okay, okay. I will check later because I'm a bit, let's say, interested in the analogies and difference between Italian and Romanian culture. Yeah. So let's go back to the main idea. So, okay, so at one point, especially during the Middle Ages, the second part of Middle Ages, this idea was connected mostly to the sex. Yeah, but it's interesting because if you see, like in the philosophy, there are many different conceptions about lust. There are some positive conception and some negative conception. And then we're gonna, let's say, focus on more on the Christian religious conception about this sin. Yeah. So I want to propose first some good conception about lust I found, yeah, in the history of philosophy. And the first one, I think you know already, is a Freudian conception. So Freud sees in lust a vital force, a vital energy. Yeah. So this is, I mean, at least in an interpretation of the concept in a, let's say, not negative sense. Yeah, is the life impulse that manifested through eros, basically. Yeah, which from Freud philosophy is a drive to push people to unify themselves, to procreate. Yeah, so to basically to continue life. So from this point of view, it's not a sin, but is an energy, is a primary energy, by the way. I don't know if you know a bit Freud when he speaks about the different area in the body where they are called in Italian zone erogene. Erogene comes from eros, yeah? It's basically, the concept of libido, for example, libido. Libido is the sexual energy, the energy that focus in one part of the body, yeah? For example, the first year of the baby, the libido is focused in the mouth, yeah? And there is a connection with the life, or the survival, because in the first year, what is very important is that in a way, the baby, which cannot think and decide in a way, has to be pushed to the mommy breast, yeah, to suck the milk. So is a drive force, is an energy that push. But it's not just about procreation, for example. Yeah, it's also that an energy that you can put when you do something cultural. Like, for example, when you make art, when you make I don't know, science, or when you create something. Behind there is also this energy, primary energy. It's a bit the idea of sublimation. I think you heard already sublimation. Sublimation is a kind of deviation of the original natural aim of this energy, which is a bit the procreation, towards our other different object, let's say, or different actions. Okay, and there are many interpretations. For example, I don't know if you know, Freud made some interpretation about some artist works. For example, Leonardo da Vinci, yeah, that he proposed the idea that Leonardo da Vinci draw many times the Madonna, yeah, because there was a connection with the mother figure, yeah, there was a sexual connection to the mother figure. But of course, many people complain about this interpretation because they say he put too much importance to the sexual energy in humans. Anyway, it's an interpretation. I think it's interesting about this human vital force. Yeah. And another one, which is before Freud and that influenced Freud a bit, is Nietzsche. Nietzsche see in the last an expression of the will of power. Yeah. So the desire to affirm oneself, and is something even good, because let the people to go against the moral repression. Yeah. So by following this, let's say, impulse, human impulse, we can go beyond the repression we usually make when we live in the society. So in a way, to suppress lust from Nietzsche is something bad. Is something that weaken existence. Is something that make existence less rich, less good. Yeah. Less healthy as well. By the way, if you have questions, if you have comments, anything, you can raise your hand or speak. Yeah, if I don't see you, you can speak anyway.
Also, maybe check it to see if someone's still waiting to join, please.
No,
Or-
no, there is no request. Now, yeah. All right, these are two. Okay, Raluca, I see you now. Yes.
Turn on your microphone.
Sorry. I think what you just said now about this positive interpretation of lust connects to a translation in Romanian, like sexual appetite, poftă trupească. I think this is because to have an appetite is for sure something good. I mean, you need an appetite so that you nourish yourself. So in that sense, I think between desfrâu, which is the word used by the Bible, in the Bible to describe the sin, this would be like the more positive or at least neutral translation of lust in Romanian, like sexual appetite.
Yeah, it's something. I mean, it's something that there is when someone is alive. Yeah, if you're alive, you have this force that push you to desire something. In a way, if you don't desire, it means that you're dead. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
from this point of view, it's not bad to have this force inside. Yeah. So in a way, they don't put the accent of the exaggeration. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Christian, for example, did at one point. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Others? All right. So, and now, before to go to the, let's say, Christian side, I want to present you one or two different interpretation or similar interpretation that we can get from ancient philosophy. Yeah. For example, if you take Stoicism, like if you take Seneca or Epictetus, two Stoic philosophers, yeah, they don't have a good, even if they're not Christian, they don't have a good idea about lust. Because, like Anka said before, they don't see lust as an energy, but they see lust as a loss of control, a loss of mastery. Yeah. I don't know if you're familiar with Stoicism, but there is a very, let's say, fanatic idea, maybe also, about emotions and everything that is strong in the emotion level of humanity. They see emotion like illness, basically. So if you're driven by emotion, usually you will do something bad to yourself or to others. Emotions are bad, yeah, in general, all the emotion. That's why they have this idea that the wise man has to be apathic. Apathic means that doesn't feel emotions. So there is the idea of detachment here, yeah. When you feel emotion, you are not detached. And when you're not detached, you cannot understand. And if you don't understand, you cannot make the best decision to yourself in order to do something that brings harmony in the relationship between you and others, between you and the external world. And so last, from this perspective, is a prison, yeah? While the wise person is free when is not dominated by passions and emotions. While lust is a strong passion and emotion, in a way, is an excessive sexual desire, yeah? So when you feel that, you are losing your freedom. You're a slave. You cannot control Yeah. Uh, in the Stoicism, there is this idea that you are free when you think, in a way, when you are able to detach from yourself. And from yourself is from your emotional level. Yeah. Which is interesting because nowadays, if you think psychology is so spread, is so popular around in the world, and if you think this, what this psychologist does basically, it deals with emotion. Yeah. So there are people that suffering because of the emotion they feel, and the psychologists try to, in a way, to deal with this emotion, to rationalize in a way, yeah, and to cure people by cure these emotions. So in a way, also today in the psychology there is this idea, yeah, that emotion, at least when they are strong, yeah, they need to be cured or they need to be rationalized. Otherwise, you are a slave. Otherwise, you are ill. Otherwise, you suffer. Yeah. So in a way, the more emotion you have from the Stoicism point of view, the more you are ill and the less free you are. I don't know if you have any comments about this. I know it's not popular so much, this idea that emotions are bad. Yeah. In a way, today we tend to give more importance to emotion. Yeah. I mean, in general, than ideas and rational level. Yeah. If you think about, I don't know, the wokeism, the idea that your identity is connected with what you feel more than what you think in a way. So we tend to give more credit to emotion nowadays, yeah. But in this perspective, emotion are more a danger, more a lack of freedom, yeah. Any ideas about this? Since I guess it's a topic that I don't know. You can have different opinions about this Stoic idea. Anka, did you raise your hand?
Yes, I was thinking that if the Stoics ever made a distinction between acting on emotions and just processing them, and act when the wave of emotional discharge passed. Because emotions seem to be like sensors that show us what we feel against something that happens outside the world, but in combination with what we think.
Okay. So you want to know if Stoic made this distinction because you think it's an important distinction to make, right?
Yes.
So you're saying that it's not the problem of emotion, is the problem about the relation with the emotions, right?
Yes.
So we shouldn't get rid of emotion. We should relate better with emotion, right?
Yes.
And which is the better relationship you see in the emotion? How can we use emotion for good?
So first thing, not to act when the emotional wave is up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unless there is immediate danger. Well, if it's an immediate danger, then act according. But how to use them correctly would be to just identify them and see why are they happening, and process them with our thinking. And
Okay, but
make
the question here is when you do it, when you process your emotion, when you think about it, are you more out from your emotion or you're more in your emotions?
you are in.
Okay, this is, an answer you can give, but I want to propose to you. I think you know Spinoza a bit. You know,
Yeah.
you know that for Spinoza, emotions are considered confused thoughts, confused ideas.
Mm, okay.
Yeah. So, for example, when you feel the emotion of fear, you have a confused idea. You have this message as, oh, there is a danger, but you don't really, in a way, interpret the reality how in a rational level. So it's a confused idea that you have about the surrounding. And sometimes I agree with you in the survival is important to have emotion, yeah, because emotion can save your life, yeah. Sometimes you don't have the time to think, so it's better to have emotion, which is a thought, an immediate thought that tells you, okay, there is a danger, so escape, so don't do it, yeah.
Mm,
But in general, when we have emotion, we are more confused than have clear ideas. That's the idea by Spinoza. So, and by the way, there is a connection between Spinoza and Stoicism because if Spinoza studied Stoicism and took a lot from it. And there is the idea that if you want to make, let's say, the best decision in most of the situation, you have to be able to go out from the emotions. And how can you do it? By transforming that confused idea in a clear ideas. But when you do it in a way for Spinoza, you are not anymore in the emotion because you translated that emotion in a clear thought. So for you, you are still in the emotion, you told me, right, Anka?
yes. And
I'm not saying it's false. I'm
yes,
just inviting you, let's say, to enter in a dialectics with a different idea, a different system that you're proposing. Yeah.
yes. But I think that you can be confused, but if you're not acting during that confusion and try to do a process of thinking, uh, it will clarify the thoughts and it will calm down the emotion. I think it's
Okay, so you feel the emotion, you act, and then you understand,
no,
right?
you don't act.
You don't act. So
Yes,
you just wait,
yes, you wait
and
and
you contemplate yourself.
yes, and try to think about the emotion because you said it's a confusion, but if you think, you could also realize that you are in danger, even if it's not an immediate danger. If you meet a person and it's so nice to you, and but you feel something is wrong with it,
Okay.
with, with that person, you might wait and he invites you to some place and you
Yeah.
feel like something is wrong and you need to process that first, and if it
Yeah.
could be danger.
But I agree with you, Anka. By the way, is what I do when usually when I have a strong emotion that create pain in my life. Yeah. What I do, is writing. So what do I do basically? When I write, I create a distance between myself and that emotion. So in a way, when I write, I don't identify anymore myself in the emotion. Because when I write, I look myself from outside. I look that emotion from outside. So I create a space, in a way, a freedom, yeah, that let me, for example, to reduce the impact that emotion has in my life. So that's why I think it's interesting to think about rationalize emotions, in this case, through writing, as a way to take distance from emotion. You're not anymore inside the emotion. And in a way, the pain reduces because you are not just inside the emotion. You look from outside. So there is in a way, you create yes, a space, a dichotomy inside yourself that free yourself from the emotion. So in a way, thinking can be seen as the one system to go out from the emotion, to go out from the cave. We could use the Plato lessic, yeah? Do you like the idea that emotion are cave? No, I don't think so. Yeah?
No, yes.
Why?
Well, if it's just emotion, then yes, it is a cave, because there are some unprocessed sensory data. It's like you get some data from the outside, but you don't process it. So, but why would it be a cave? Well, in the sense that you are not using reason to process what you feel, and you act
Okay.
unconsciously. Yeah.
Okay. And Anka, what's the benefit to use reasons to think about the emotions you have? What the benefit you think?
To to make yourself conscious of why you feel and why you feel what you feel, and make a decision on how to act.
All right. So you are less slave because you
Yeah.
can decide. In a way, you can you have more power than your emotion. While if you don't think, the emotion take over you and has more power on you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes. That's exactly the idea about by the way. Yeah. In a way, there is the idea that emotion and lust, in the specific, are types of enslavement. Yeah. So we should get rid of this stuff by thinking, by practice detachment. Yeah. It's a bit. I mean. It's radical perspective, yeah. So I know it's not popular, but do you see a bit the, yeah, it makes sense, you think, or
Yeah.
not?
I think it's radical how you present it, like it's like digital, like now you are into emotion and the next step you are not. It's like from 0 to 1. But as I see it, it's just they come together, like you're still in the emotion, you start writing, you still feel the emotion, but gradually, because you use your reason and you write and you breathe, it you are able to detach at some point, to be detached. So it's more like a linear process where they both go together.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I agree with you, but it's a bit different from the Stoicism perspective. Yeah. So in the Stoicism perspective, there is the idea of apathy. Yeah. You need to become apathic in order to be wise and free, which I don't think is what you are saying, and is not right.
Yes.
Okay.
The apathic is not it's it's I mean it seems more like suppressing than
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
processing.
All right. Okay. I can agree with that. But we need to be clear in this. We have to know when we understand another, let's say, system, and we disagree. Yeah. Instead of try to force in that system to be like we think. So in a way, you agree with a part of this Stoicism idea, but you don't take it for granted everything what they say, right? They're a
Yeah,
bit
I agree.
radical. They're too radical for you, right?
Yeah, I agree with Stoicism.
Okay, but you disagree with the idea that we should get rid of emotion, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you agree with a part of this system, not with entire system, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine. I agree with you, by the way. I think they're a bit radical, but and we have to distinguish what they say and what we agree with. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want to add something, Anka?
No.
No? Okay. I see another hand. It's Sebastian, I guess.
Mariana actually has a remark.
Yeah.
Okay.
I disagree with the fact that you said Stoicism is not popular nowadays. I just think we named it different things, but at its core, it still maintains a lot of values. The whole new discipline, alpha male towards productivity kind of mentality has a lot of Stoicism in it. Like, do not choose your own life, do not let emotions be your master, keep on going, keep on pushing. It's just almost like Stoicism active mode instead of passive mode.
But what is it? What you're talking about?
The new culture of like more alpha male, discipline driven, still follows a bit of more Stoicism mentality. I think it's still prevalent in our society, the avoidance of emotion.
Is it popular? Yeah.
Yeah, and Buddhism. Buddhism with the whole theory of detachment and not be driven by your emotions, and that you will only achieve enlightenment when you can like breathe your emotions out, basically.
Okay. Yeah. I think your two examples make sense. I agree with you. What's your name then again?
Mariana.
Mariana, I agree with you. Probably we disagree with how popular we see these two movement, let's say, in the world. Maybe I'm being subjective a bit because I mean I teach at school, and usually the teenagers they don't like these ideas. They have the opposite ideas that in a way the more emotion you have, the more alive you are and the more happy you are. Yeah. So
Yeah, but in a corporate society nowadays, I think we still harvest a bit of stoicism here and there in order to be able to just comply and be productive. It depends on the age group you're referring to. I do think that younger people are now seeking more therapy, seeking out to actually feel through their emotions because they have seen the previous generations failing with these systems that are still a bit stoic.
Oh, you think they go to the therapist because there is the failure
Yeah.
of the. Okay,
Because
can you explain why? Because it's interesting.
Yeah, I think that our parents and grandparents were taught to keep their emotions at bay and to be disciplined and master it and keep on being productive. And as a generation, like we are now seeing them have all their midlife crisis in which all the bottled up emotions throughout the years, all the vital energy, if you want to talk in Freud terms, is just frustrated within them, and they are not content and happy with what they have achieved. And then they project that frustration, that anger built up throughout the years onto their children and try to contain and control their life. And I believe that us, their children, see that their models failed, don't identify ourselves with it, and therefore see emotion again as maybe the solution through changed mentality and our lifestyle.
And that's why they go to the therapy, because they feel of the emotions.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what you say makes sense. The only doubt I have, let's say, is in the presupposition of your speech that the grandparents, in a way, are Stoics, our grandparents.
No, more Stoics than our
Okay,
society now.
but here
No, they were
I
not living it full because they were taking an active role in life and not just, oh, I feel this emotion. What am I gonna
okay,
do? I will sit and think for my whole day.
exactly. So I think there is a difference, important difference there, yes,
Yeah.
between the Stoicism and the grandparents' attitude. Yeah, I see my grandparents like you described. I think it fits the description, but I don't think to be Stoic is enough to repress your emotion. Yeah.
Yeah, you actually have to think them through.
Yeah, exactly. And I
Yeah.
think that part is very important in the Stoicism.
Mhm.
While in that generation, actually, to be honest, I don't see much
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah. So I think that's an important distinction to make. Yeah.
Yeah. I also think that some people nowadays try to feel their emotions, but end up being slaves of their intellect because we have no reference in how to actually feel our emotions through, and we think about them too much, though.
Okay. There is an overthinking, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, which is not thinking in a way, overthinking, yeah, is more an expression of strong worrying that you cannot stop it, yeah.
Yeah.
So in a way, overthinking is more in the emotional level than in the thinking level. Do you agree?
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So here is the interesting observation you made, but I wouldn't put overthinking together with intellect. Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you see
Yeah,
the
at some
distinction?
point it stops being rational.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know if it happened to you, Mariana, when you are trying to get asleep, but you cannot stop your thinking. I wouldn't call it thinking. It's more overthinking. It's more worrying.
Yeah.
You want to predict the future. You are worried because tomorrow maybe you have something you don't feel good enough to do it. So this is more emotions level.
Mhm.
Do you
Yeah,
agree?
you're right. Had never put it that way. Good point.
Okay. You want to add something, Mariana? You're good.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So here is just another perspective. Yeah. So we saw Freud perspective, we saw Nietzsche perspective, we saw Stoicism perspective. Yeah. And now I want to go for the, let's say, perspective that gives the name to the session. Yeah. To that course. Yeah. The deadly sins. So let's go a bit inside the Christian theology, yeah, the Christian conception of the lust. Lust is one of the seven deadly sins, as you know, yeah, and it's interesting because Christians represent lust as a perversion of love. And why is a perversion of love? Because there is a confusion that in a way when you feel lust, yeah, you think that love is in possessing somebody, yeah. So there is a perversion from love to possession. So in a way, from this perspective, you are changing the other person from a subject into an object. So the other person is not a subject anymore in the way you relate to him or to her. Is more it, is an object. You don't see the subject, you see an object to consume, basically. Yeah. So you lose the other when you are in this sin. Yeah. That's why it's a sin also. Yeah. Is so in a way is going against the law of the love, the law of the love, is perverting the love. And yeah, and of course they put the accent of this excess of the erotic desire to possess somebody, yeah, to have somebody. And when you are in this drive, you cannot control yourself. You cannot control your sexual impulse. I think it's an interesting idea. Now, I don't think we have to agree or disagree. I think we have to look at this phenomenon from different perspective. Yeah, this is what I think philosophy about, is to try to see the same phenomenon from different angles. And so lust is not an authentic desire for the person in front of you. Yeah, this is a bit the idea. And so there is no the capacity to establish an authentic relationship with a person. You lose the other, and you lose yourself by desiring the other like an object. In a way, it's a form of alienation, yeah, because you transform the other in an object, and then you lose yourself in this object. I think it's an interesting idea, yeah, and it's also an alienation because it's a way to escape the loneliness, the boredom, the pain, the fear of your existence through the intensity of the moment, yeah, through a carnal impulse. And here there is an interesting link with an author that is not Christian, but in a way Christianity took a lot from this author, and is Plato. I don't know if you read Symposius. You know, Symposius is the dialogue about love. Yeah, is who read the Symposius among you? Just to check. Okay, Arminda, Bogdan, yeah, and Alex. All right. So you see, is basically is a dinner in a house of a poet that won a competition that invited the important people in Athens, included Socrates, which arrived late. Yeah. Anyway, at one point, one of them proposed to keep drinking after the dinner and talking about something, yeah, something philosophical. And he proposed the topic of eros, and everybody was excited, yeah. And so we have a lot of speech, let's say a few speech, like 6, I guess, in the Symposium, 6 different speech about love. And in one of them, there is an interesting distinction that we can apply a bit to the Christian idea that I proposed before, which is the distinction between vulgar eros and celestial eros. If you know, in Greek, they say pandemia. Pandemia is the vulgar eros, the vulgar love, let's say. Like, pandemic means something that regards all the people, yeah, that's pandemia. So in a way, is the popular way to love, which usually is more carnal, we tend to be attracted more to the body. While the celestial is called Uranio. Uranio is a name also to indicate sky, Uranio, yeah. Uranus was a god of sky. And is the love of the soul, yeah. So it can include a bit the attraction, but you don't remain slave of the attraction of the body. The attraction of the body is just the starting point of an elevation, basically. You elevate yourself through the body, and in order to go to the immaterial world. So basically, the celestial love, eros, is the capacity to go from the material to the immaterial level, to the finite to the infinite. Yeah, and that's why, in a way, this celestial word, eros, implies also the love of the knowledge, the love of the beauty. Yeah, And here, Freud, by the way, saw a strong connection with this idea of sublimation, yeah, because when Freud read this work, then it was like, okay, but Plato was saying the same, yeah, there is an eros behind our cultural action, he calls sublimation, yeah. So in a way, the problems of vulgar eros is not the attraction of the body, is to remain slave of that attraction, is not to be able to go next level, let's say, to go next step. The vulgar eros is the let's say incapacity to go next. So because you get stuck on the first level of love, yeah. And I think we all see the difference between, let's say, a carnal attraction to somebody and when you love authentically somebody in a way, yeah? So if you love the body, when the body gets old or sick or ugly, you don't love anymore the body, yeah? The person. But if you love the soul, something beyond the body, yeah, of course you will take care to the person even when this person will get old, sick, and ugly, and stuff like that. And the last idea I want to propose, which continue this, let's say, included in the Christianity, is the perspective of by Augustine. We say Saint Augustine. You know Augustine? Yeah, he was one very important figure for Christianity. That's why they made him saint, by the way. Yeah, and by the way, he's an interesting figure because if you read the Confessions, it's a kind of self-biography. Well, he reveals all his sins, basically, he made, especially in the first part of his life. It's a really interesting biography, by the way, because he behaved like, I don't know, let's say, a free teenager, yeah? He made sex, he had a son, he made a lot of fun in his first part of life. And at one point, when he was in Milan, but here in Italy, by the way, he met Ambrogio, yeah, was an important priest, and he converted himself from Manichaeism to Christianity, yeah. And then he became priest, and he wrote books like Confessions. And his perspective of lust is interesting because his presupposition is that the humans are created to love God. Yeah. So in a way, our existential aim is to love God. Yeah. While when we have this lust, we have a kind of disorder in our desire, and we love more the flesh, more the body than God. Yeah. So in a way, we create an idol by loving the body. That's the problem. It's not the attraction itself. Again, is a bit like in Plato, when we get stuck in this attraction. So in a way, we put something that is less important above something is more important. And that's why there is evil, yeah? I don't know if you know this important issue in Augustine. It's very interesting because, he says that basically everything is created by God. So there is an important objection that a lot of enemies of Christianity made to him. That was, wait a sec, if everything is made by God, is created by God, what about evil? Is evil created by God? This was an important objection. Yeah. So his answer is that evil is not created by God. Evil, the moral evil, is connected to the freedom that humans have to not respect the order of values that God created. For example, money is not bad, but when you put money before your family, okay, that's moral evil, that's moral bad, sin, that's a sin. So every time we disrespect the hierarchy that God provide, we create evil. Yeah, and when we are in lust, we love more the body than the soul, than God. So we are creating something evil. This is the last perspective I wanted to share with you. So now I would like to open a bit with your comments, your questions, maybe your objections, like Mariana made before. And then I want to propose you in the second part of the workshop an exercise we want to work on in order to, let's say, work on the competencies of interpretation. But first, let's say, space to other questions or other comments. Arminda.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I have a question that came up while you were talking. So, can there be? Do you think that can there be a sexual desire without lust, or without this part of, without the tendency to possess? Can we have sexual desire without that?
Okay.
Or is it necessary?
Okay. First, do you have an idea or you don't have any idea?
My answer would be that no, it's impossible.
Okay. So your idea is that the lust implies just desire of something of the other body, yeah? It's
No,
not an excess.
that sexual desire implies lust and possessiveness.
Yes. So lust is inside every sexual desire we have, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and you don't like your answer? Or you want a confirmation? What would you want?
No, I was thinking about some discussions I had with some other people who seemed to have another idea.
Can you present the other idea?
Yes, they were. They hated the idea of being possessed and desired like an object.
They are against this idea, right?
Yes, they like hated this idea.
Okay. But would they agree with you that every time you have a sexual desire, there is a desire of possessing the other, or no?
I don't know if they would agree.
Oh, you made a discussion with them. You should know. You should ask them.
We didn't finish.
Okay. By the way, let me propose you an idea that I found interesting. Yes, some time ago about this. In general, I found this idea in different philosophers that say that there is a tendency in humans that is a tendency to refuse freedom because freedom implies anguish. Yeah, and a specific way to refuse freedom is to become slave or object. So in a way, now I want to create a connection with the topic you brought up, that there is a desire of being possessed from other people, yeah, even sexually possessed. And every time we desire this, in a way, we find pleasure in get rid of our freedom from a sex point of view. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the people you speak with, they would not agree with this perspective.
Exactly.
But there are people, and I think it's even common, that like the idea to become an object. Some people they do them with themselves. They become object of themselves. Yeah, they become slave. Yeah, for example. For example, habits, I think, are so spread because you don't have to think anymore. You just repeat what you have done yesterday and the day before. So in a way, even habit can be seen as a way to become an object. You are not a subject anymore. You don't think, you just repeat. Yeah, like a robot. Yeah, you're more an object. And also in sex, there is this tendency to get rid of freedom, yeah, by being possessed, by become an object. So here, I don't know. I mean, there are people that prefer to become object in sex, for example, and people that prefer to maybe remain subject. Yeah, but in your perspective, the sexual desire is not. You cannot divide the desire from the possess, right? The sexual
Yes.
desire from the possess.
Yes.
Okay. So, and your perspective is good to have the desire of possessing, or is bad?
I don't think it's good or bad. It's just the way it is. I think they are connected and we cannot disconnect them.
Okay. So I guess you spoke with moral people in that conversation, right?
With more people or?
Moral people. The people
Okay.
that disagree with you, they were more in a moral paradigm, right? Possess is bad. Yeah.
Possibly. They were talking about themselves, that they hate to
be treated as object.
To be treated as objects, yes, to see themselves as objects.
Okay. But next time you speak with them, can you propose them the idea that there are other people in the world that they like to become object?
Yes.
I'm not saying he's right or he's wrong. I like you. I'm saying that is a phenomenon that is common in a way. Yeah. Just to close, and then we go to Sebastian or Marianne. Do you think there are more people that prefer to become object, or no? There's just a few people. What do you think is the tendency in the humanity?
I'd rather say that there are more people who prefer in one way or another to become objects, either for themselves or by others.
Okay, so the majority of humanity prefer to get rid of freedom, yeah?
Yes, from time to time at least, yes.
Okay. Okay, a few philosophers would agree with you, yeah? In a way, bad faith is a way to get rid of freedom, is a concept by Sartre, yeah? And there are other concepts. And okay, before to close, I want to propose you a last, let's say, input, last idea. That is an idea by Nietzsche. I found in Nietzsche that every time we possess something, we are possessed by that something. So, in a way, even possess something is a way to make yourself an object. So, in a way, try to think about some people, they have a lot of stuff. Yeah. In a way, they are slave of what they have. They have to take care of these things, and that's why they maybe forget or they don't have time to take care of their soul. Yeah. That's why to have a lot of stuff can be an obstacle for thinking, because you put the stuff before the thinking. Yeah. So in a way, to be poor is better for thinking than to be rich, because when you are rich, you can lose easily yourself in the stuff, in the possessing stuff, and you lose the freedom by doing that. I think this is a common mistake that many people have. They think that more they have, the more they are free. While from this perspective, it's just the opposite.
The opposite, yes.
Yeah.
But we can also see our soul or our selves as objects.
Yeah. Yeah. For example, in this example, we are an instrument for the stuff. Yeah. To take care of the stuff. Yeah. So we become in a way object. Yeah. Sometimes,
Or when, or
yeah.
when we are obsessed with becoming better and better, more intelligent, and working on ourselves, we are again an object.
Yes, yes. In a way, when we have a goal that we are stuck in it, we are not able to, for example, to let it go. In a way, we become slave of that goal. Yeah. So in a way, we lose from a bit of freedom and we become more object. Yeah. So in a way, the freedom is connected with thinking. Yeah. So every time we stop thinking, we stop to be free. We at least from the Socratic point of view. Yeah. Okay. I think Arminda became an object or disappeared. And I don't see her anymore. She escaped. All right. I think it's the time to switch to Mariana or Sebastian. Then we go to Raluca.
Yeah, I had a remark from what Aminda said, like you can't have sexual pleasure without lust. And I think you can. Like for me, when you say lust, I'm thinking of the tarot card, which is the devil. Like in tarot cards, the lust is represented by the devil. And there you have persons which are chained. They are like big chains that are around them. And like the metaphorical background of this card is that these chains you choose to put on yourself. So, and to keep on yourself. So, I'm thinking that lust is something like sexual pleasure isn't directly related to lust. It is when you start to rearrange your life towards it, towards gaining that thing. And like Saint Augustine said that you are made to love God. I can still feel sexual pleasure and still be oriented in my life to serve and love God.
Okay.
And there are also different types of lust. There is also lust for power, not only sexual pleasure, and there are like also different types of lust.
Okay. Sebastian, let me invite you now to make a little exercise since we are in a practical philosophical workshop. Yeah, you made a little speech, an interesting speech. Can you summarize now in one sentence the main concept you want to share? I think maybe is the distinction between a normal, let's say, healthy sexual desire from one side and on the other side, lust. Can you make it in one sentence? This is a skill called conceptualization. Yeah. So can you conceptualize your what you said?
Yes. An emotion or a sensation becomes lust when you start focusing your life on it.
All right. Now, even more difficult. Right, nice job, but even more difficult. I trust you, so you can do it. Can you pick just one word that you think capture the essence of this sentence?
Enslavement or
Enslavement.
focus. Yes, enslavement or focus.
Oh, wait. Now you propose me two words. Yes.
If I don't need to use a word from what I've said before, it's enslavement. I think that's the best.
Enslavement.
Yes.
Okay. Why do you think is the best?
Because of the connotation of subordination that it has.
Okay. Okay. But if I understood you rightly, the enslavement there is when you prioritize your desire, when in a way you you give too importance to this desire. Then
Yes.
there is, right?
Yes, yes.
All right, all right. So I think enslavement is good. Another concept I propose to capture what you said is prioritization,
Yeah,
priority.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see, by the way, the benefit of conceptualize something that you said in many words, or no?
Yeah, definitely.
Can you explain what's the benefit?
Clear thinking.
Exactly, yeah. But it's hard because you have to choose. In a way, is a way to train your freedom. Yeah, choosing freedom. Yeah, that's why. I mean, you made a good job, but many people have hard time to conceptualize, and I think one of the reason is because they have hard time to choose. They want to say everything, so when they have to pick a one word or one sentence, they cannot do it. Yeah. So it's another way that reveals maybe this tendency to refuse freedom in humans is let's say the rejection of conceptualization. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But are you familiar with the practice, Sebastian?
Well, I only came to some philosophical. I like philosophy in general. I've done it in high school, and I've only joined some philosophical talks. I can't say I'm familiar, like experienced in it.
Okay. Do you
But
live in Timisoara?
yes.
Okay. If you want, there is Alex Bocca that has a nice place there where he invite people to make different exercise like conceptualization, problematization, interpretation. So I made an advertisement, Alex, now. Okay. But jokes apart, is a nice place where to practice the skills with other people. Yeah. So if you live there, sometimes take your time and go there. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going. I went once, but I plan on going.
Yeah, again, I think your idea it fits very good. Is a matter of priority. Yeah, if you want,
Yes.
if you give them more
Yes,
importance, you find the time to go there. Yeah.
definitely.
All right. Thank you, Sebastian. Raluca, are you there? You have to open the mic.
Sorry, it's the second time, yeah. So when you said that for Christianity, lust is considered as a sin because it objectifies the object of lust. I thought there's a missing link. Why would Christians be bothered with that? And I proposed that they are upset by the fact that we objectify the object of lust because in Christianity, there is this idea that the humans are an image of God. So in a way, when you objectify another person, you mistreat God.
Okay.
I propose this. I know there are other, I can think of also other explanations.
No, I think
but
it's a good one, Luca.
Yeah.
In a way, you don't see the reflection of God in the other, so you miss the God in the other, and you see just the body, the appearance, yes, the surface.
Or you see the soul, but you just don't care. You mistreat the soul. You only put
Okay.
value on the body, and then you don't care about God. So it's a disrespect with God.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what understood. Yes. Yeah, in a way, we could also say that from this perspective, when you are more attracted to the body and you don't you miss the God in the other and you objectify the other, is not love, is a narcissism. Yeah. Do you know why I say that? Do you see the link or no?
Because you project your desires, your image.
Yes.
I think it's related also to pride, which is also a sin. So in a way, you take the stand and you say, my desire, my wishes are more important than God. So it's a combined sin.
Yeah, in a way, that's why pride is the mother of all the sins. Yeah, because
Yeah.
in each sins there is some pride. Yeah, in this one is the idea that you are more important than the other, or you are more important that the body is more important than the soul, and you can do without God in a way. Yeah. So in a way, you don't recognize the hierarchy of values, and you think you can do by yourself. You can decide what is important or not. It's a matter of pride, you see. In a way, you love more. You think you love more yourself, or you love more yourself than the other, which is not true love. It's narcissism. Yeah. Do you see? Do you see the difference between love and narcissism, Raluca?
Yeah, when you love someone or you wish them good for themselves, not because you like them. So in a way, I think, and you can even test that in a particular decision when you can either do what's best for you or what's best for the other. If you choose the best for the other, it means that there is it's not narcissism that speaks. It's
Okay, Luca, what can help when we make a distinction is the same job that Sebastian made before. So I ask you to do the same. Can you conceptualize in one word what can distinguish these two ideas? And then you explain.
Yeah, it's a good technique, I think. Okay, I propose respect. Let's say respect.
Okay, explain.
So while when you are a narcissist, you only care for the other insofar it brings you something for yourself. When you love someone, you act on the respect given to the wishes and the needs of the other person.
Okay, so in the narcissism, there is a lack of respect to the others, while in love, you respect the other, right?
Yeah. I'm not very happy with the concept though, but
Okay, I see you.
I
But
don't. It's not.
okay,
It's not.
what now? I mean, let's put that content aside. I think
Yeah.
a nice technique when you try to distinguish two ideas is to try to propose a third concept that fits to the first one and doesn't fit to the second one. And then you explain. And if you don't like the explanation, means that maybe you were looking for something different, right? You
So
want to
it
propose a
fits
second one?
a second one which fits. Okay, a second one. Let me try. I propose. I don't know. I want help.
Okay, let's ask for help. There is anyone can help Raluca to find a concept that distinguish the idea of narcissism from the idea of love. If there is no one, I have one proposal, but okay, let's see. Alex?
A concept of profit.
Profit. I was thinking that you were proposing profit, but okay, it's profit. Profit. Okay. Can you say why profit can distinguish the two ideas?
A narcissist always thinks about what he's gonna get for himself, and that is the profit of investment in a relationship, because it all has to come back to him. While a love, you don't think about the profit. You invest energy and love and good energy just because you can, and you can give, and you have love to give, not to invest
Okay.
for a return.
Okay, Raluca, do you like this idea that distinguish?
Yeah, this is what you propose, like an opposite concept, like between the, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's
profit
good.
fits with
It's
narcissism and doesn't fit
narcissism. Yeah,
with love.
exactly. Yeah, I think it's
In a
nice
way,
one.
is the
Yeah.
idea, I think, also of selfish, right? So when you are focused more in your profit, you're more focused on yourself. So you're more selfish, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
I saw Bogdan also. You wanted to propose another one?
Yeah, but maybe I didn't understood. I wanted to propose subjectivity, that
Go
when you
on.
are not narcissist, you accept the subjectivity of the other person. And when you are narcissist, you don't accept it.
You are narcissistic, you refuse the subjectivity of the other.
Yeah, you don't accept the fact that he has his own needs, his own views. You want to impose your views
Okay,
on
okay.
him.
It's a bit similar with what I
Mhm.
wanted to propose, Bogdan. I was about to propose the idea of otherness. So in a way, in the love, there is an encounter with something is beyond yourself, is other. Yeah. While in the narcissism, you remain stuck with yourself. You are not able to go out from yourself. So you're not able to go beyond yourself and to encounter something other. Yeah. It's a bit the same, the idea, right?
Yes.
Do you like Raluca? Bogdan idea? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's in the same line with respect, but I like more the idea of acceptance of the otherness because respect is too charged with morality, while
Yeah.
accepting the otherness is more this
And how
fits
come
better.
you brought up first a moral concept? Are you a moral person?
Well, in my way, in my own special way.
No way. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah,
you
I think.
know, but you see this moral tendency of yourself, right?
Yes, I see my moral tendency. Yeah.
Okay, it's just to show Sebastian, Mariana, and the new ones that in this practice, every time we speak, in a way, we reveal ourselves. Yeah, so it's not by chance that Raluca proposed respect as a way to distinguish them. I'm not saying it's false. I'm saying there is a connection with this mental tendency, yeah, the thinking paradigm that Raluca is in, which it's not false or wrong. It's just a tendency that everyone has. We all have a tendency of thinking, yeah. And by discovering this tendency, we know better ourselves. It's a bit idea of philosophical practice, yeah. You want to add something, Luca?
Just to add on what you said now, it's. I mean, I knew that the concept doesn't fit well because I also saw my tendency to use a moral concept, and I knew it's my projection on it. But when I described it, I saw it doesn't fit. So in a way, I saw how I imposed myself on the
Yeah.
thinking, and when I formulated, I knew it's not right. So it's a very nice game.
Yeah.
Not game, yeah,
Let me propose to you that
exercise.
to be moral is not bad. I'm fine, yeah, with morality. The idea is that when we think, we should be able to get out, at least temporarily, from our usual paradigm. Yeah. In a way, to think the unthinkable. Is this the idea? Yeah. And this is the idea of freedom that Socrates proposed to us. Yeah. So I invite the next time to propose a not moral concept, immoral concept, like sadism or something like that. Yeah. All right. Anyone else? By the way, okay, before to propose the exercise, can we last a bit longer since we started later, Alex? Yes? All right. Let me propose to you the exercise we have been doing with Raluca and together with some of you. The distinction is an important part of the thinking process. Yeah, and in a way, in the last 3 months, I've been working to this text with Matthias Tistegren, another practitioner, a Swedish one. We are writing about more. We found more than 50 couples of concepts that we tend to confuse each other. like, I don't know, obsession and passion. Yeah. Sometimes we tend to confuse these two. So we are basically making an exercise of distinction. Yeah. What is different between this passion and obsession, between autonomy and independency? Yeah. So, and it's funny to see we started with the 10 distinction, but now we found more than 50, and we are keep finding a lot of concept that we tend to use as synonymous, but they are not the same. Yeah. So distinguish is an important part of the thinking job. Yeah. If you want, once we finish, we can share with you the doc. Yeah. If you are interested, you can write to me. I can share. All right. And now we started a little exercise, and in a way, you can continue the exercise even by yourself at home. Is an exercise of interpretation. Yeah. So what I would like you to do now is first to make an aphorism about last. I don't know if you know what an aphorism is. Is a short idea, short thought, yeah, that doesn't contain an explanation, yeah, is more a kind of intuition, yeah. You throw an idea and you don't explain too much. Maybe you say something about the link you create with that idea, but you don't explain a lot. So let me share with you the doc I prepared. You should be able to enter and to modify. Yes. So I will propose here. So in the chat, you find the doc. You should be able to write on it, and please write your name. And beside, you put this short aphorism about last. It can be anything. And Raluca, for you, it must be something not moral, okay? Please. So I give you. Oh, let me give you all the task. After you gave the aphorism, you are supposed to give two short interpretation of that aphorism. Yeah. All right. Even if you found just one interpretation, I think is good enough. Yeah. So you can stop. Okay, I'll give you last 20 seconds and then we work with what we have. Okay? Everyone did it? Yeah? Who didn't finish? Okay, we can go on. So now is starting the funny part, because the idea of the game of the interpretation is to go through the different interpretation we see in the doc and to spot some problems. Yeah. So problems, what we mean by problem, we mean that, for example, there is a disconnection between the interpretation and the sentence, or we think that is not relevant, the interpretation, or we think that yeah, there is too much distance between the interpretation proposed and the original sentence. Yeah. So every time we see a problem, we try to name it. Yeah. And then we see if there is or not a problem. Yeah. So if basically the idea is to check if the interpretation makes sense and is acceptable, or if there is some problems that will push us to refuse the interpretation. So let's do like that. It's enough if you found one problem, you put your name under the interpretation, and you say in a brief way what is the problem you think. Or actually, even since we don't have so much time, I prefer we do orally. So now you read the interpretation, and as soon as you see one, you raise your hand. As soon as you see a problem. All right. So I see Anka. So now I invite the other people to stop looking for problems. We focus on Anka. She found already. She's faster. She experienced, so she go faster than others. Anka.
Yes. I found the problem in Sebastian's interpretation. Lust is connected to triggering a powerful emotion.
Okay, first, can you read the aphorism by Sebastian?
Yes, sweet release, scratching that itch.
All right. And so the first interpretation you think is a problem. There is a problem, right?
Yes.
Lust is connected to triggering a powerful emotion. Which problem do you see there?
I think it's not covering the entire idea in the...
Okay. How do you, let's say, name this problem?
Incomplete.
Incomplete, yeah. Can you show why is incomplete?
Because it only talks about triggers, while the aphorism is also giving the release idea.
Okay, so your idea is that the interpretation is missing an important part of the aphorism, which is the, let's say, liberation.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to Sebastian. Sebastian, did you understand Anka? Objection?
Yeah, but liberation is a
Wait, wait.
powerful emotion.
Okay, wait.
Yes,
Now,
sorry.
I see you are in defensive mood, in the lawyer mood, which is fine, yeah. But don't forget that we are here to reason together. So take a breath and go slowly. Otherwise, you lose me straight away. So the first rule of the thinking is to go slow. Yeah, are you ready to go slow?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So did you understand first the criticism?
Yeah.
All right. All right. As what I observe, you disagree with that, right?
Yes.
All right. Can you explain to Anka why you think is dealing with an important part, your interpretation? Go on.
I mean, it could be incomplete, and maybe I didn't understood well, but the process of release is still a powerful emotion. Like, it's still something that you feel on an emotional level.
Okay. Now let's go step by step. Do you agree that your aphorism is speaking also about liberation?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Do you agree that is an important part of the aphorism?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see liberation in your first interpretation or no?
No. Yes.
Okay. You
I
see
understand.
you see the benefit to go slow, otherwise you miss something, yeah? So, do you agree with Anka that is missing something important or no?
Yes, it is. It is missing.
Okay, okay. You see, this is another big difference with the way we usually speak in daily life. Usually we try just to defend our ideas. Here, in a way, the criticism are an invitation to think from other perspective and to see the limits of our idea. That's why Socrates being so hated, by the way, and is being killed, yeah, because he was inviting people to reconcile with the limits of their ideas. So now, in a way, you could use the criticism in order to improve your interpretation. Can you do something to improve your interpretation, or no? Can you include the idea of liberation there?
Mm, Not really, because I think I want to change my aphorism, not necessarily the
Oh,
interpretation.
oh, that's the problem. So,
Yes.
okay. Just for fun, I want to let you. Do you have a better aphorism that can maybe fit with interpretation?
Um, I need to think about it.
All right. So, by the way, you see a bit the disconnection here between your first interpretation and your aphorism.
Yes.
All right, all right. You see, I mean, here is not important I mean, in a way, the results is more the path of thinking, yeah. So in a way, we usually hate people when criticize ourselves, but here is an opportunity to detach from our ideas. Yeah, that's the idea of thinking. Otherwise, we are not in thinking. We are in defending something. We want to prove something. We believe in. It's more religious thinking usually than philosophical thinking. Yeah. Do you see the difference between religious thinking and critical thinking?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely.
But of course, there is a tendency in humans to have this emotional relationship with our own ideas. We give birth. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
You want to add something, Sebastian, or you're good?
No. I'll try to think about the aphorism, how I could change it, and
Okay.
I'll
If
let
you
you
come
know.
up
And
with something, you can
yeah.
say or write it. Okay. Alex, did you raise your hand?
I want to help Seba change his aphorism to include the idea of liberation.
Okay. You have an helper, Sebastian. Go on, Alex.
It's lost is connected to elaborating a powerful emotion. So I just replaced triggering with elaboration, with elaborating.
Do you accept it, Sebastian?
Yeah, works. Thank you.
But here, can you now, I mean, I'm curious, I mean, it's interesting. Why did you focus on triggering while the aphorism speaks more about the liberation? Can you explain?
Well, if I look at it at face value, it makes me think that it's not connected to something, but it's definitely connected to something. Maybe because it's like triggering is from a family of words which are more related to bad things. Like when we say we trigger, when we say we use trigger when we say that someone is triggered, like it's like dramatic based or something like that. And I think it just like has a connotation with lust being having a bad connotation, the word. So I made that connection. I
Okay,
think.
so let me propose to you, Sebastian, that instead of interpreting the aphorism you create by yourself, you wanted to propose a second idea about lust, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's interesting. So, in a way, you know what? When I write, for example, I remember a few years ago, what was difficult for me is to suspend the ideas I wanted to write to focus on one idea to develop that idea. Yeah. So, in a way, instead of going through the first idea you propose, you wanted to give birth to a second one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just for fun, since before we saw there is a strong connection between what we reveal by speaking and thinking and our existence, do you see a connection with your life, this mechanism, that instead of going deeper in one direction, you tend to open more direction at the same time?
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Right. Mariana, do you confirm this
I do
tendency?
confirm. I'm loving that you're calling him out.
I see you are.
That's why I come to philosophy.
Okay. But can you provide an example to prove us that is real, this tendency you have? Not something private, we don't want to know your secret, but your something that you can share.
Yeah, when, for example, when I get inspired, I don't get inspired to do only one thing. I get inspired to do like five, and I never know with what to start or on what to focus. So yeah.
By the way, is a form that can take last. You see?
Yes.
Can you explain why it can be interpreted as a lust?
Being overly stimulated and yeah, being overly stimulated, like full of ideas, wanting to start things, having that energy of startup, let's say.
So in a way, you have hard time to limit your desire. You want more ideas, and this create a difficulty on focusing on one thing because you want more. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now I understand why you join us today about the last.
May I give a quick example? Just his pattern of speech when he tries to explain himself through writing. This also happens. He goes circular, like there's a new idea. He doesn't finish developing that idea, and in the next paragraph he introduces another. And then later he's coming back with what seemed to him like a new idea that because he got distracted, but could also actually have been included in the first paragraph if he had developed it further. So this is this happens in a lot of areas in life.
Nice. And by the way, Sebastian, here we're not saying that is bad, what you're doing is wrong, but it's important that you are aware that you have this tendency, right?
Yeah. No worries. I totally understand.
Yeah, that's the point of it's not in a way to impose stuff on others, but it's to help others to be aware about their way of functioning. Because if you're aware, you're more free, you see.
Yeah.
So if you know that you have this tendency, maybe you keep doing it, but you are more, you are not anymore a victim like before about this. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because you know you're not ignorant about this system you are in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
you like?
definitely. No, I understand. I understand the subject of the practice,
All right.
the purpose.
Did you like this little exercise we've been doing together?
Yeah, definitely.
What did you like the most about it?
Picking and dissecting my thought patterns.
Okay, all right. And by the way, you like it, but there are some people that is precisely the reason why they don't like practice because they don't like when, in a way, the practice, the philosophical practice, reveals something about themselves. So, in a way, if you don't want to know yourself, it's not the right practice for you, okay? But if you are open to look at yourself, to be more aware, sometimes it can be a bit unpleasant, but is a very good practice, yeah? Because there is a connection between the way we think, the competency we develop, and in a way the subjectivity, the subjective level, this we express in the way we think, yeah. So there is a constant game and switch between let's say more abstract level from a more concrete personal level, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So from the subject to the object and on the other say the other way around. So okay, nice, good, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go to, we have time for another one? Yes. Okay, let's take a second example. Second let's say problem. No problems? Okay, I guess it's Marianne, right?
Yes. I have a problem with Sorin interpretation. So his aphorism is intense impulse or emotion. And I believe that his interpretation goes much further than the aphorism itself by saying intense need that fools our behavior, which often is not helping us on the long term. There is nothing in his aphorism that I see that encompasses the last idea.
Okay,
long
how
term.
how would you call this problem in one word?
I don't know.
Okay, make an effort. Come on.
Extrapolation.
Extrapolation. Explain.
It goes further than intended. He extrapolated upon the idea.
Wait, do you agree that when the concept of extrapolation, you take something that is already in and you make it out? Do you agree?
Maybe.
Okay, so I invite you that maybe you want
So
to.
it's not extrapolation that
Yeah,
I'm trying to say. No.
exactly. Yeah, is try again. And by the way, this is an actually thinking work you are doing. So
Yeah.
you see.
having some trouble here.
You want to help for the group?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Who can help Mariana to find the name of the problem she mentioned? Alex, you raise your hand?
Yeah, but I want to let someone else.
Oh, but I don't see other. Let's see.
Yeah, I know. I have 3 words, but let someone else.
Yeah, I would agree with you if I would see other people raise their hand, but Antonia, are you coming up with an idea? I see your face like you are giving birth to something.
The only thing that I was thinking about was omission, but that connects more to the aphorism than to the interpretation. That the aphorism omits
Okay, it's
what
not a
he.
problem of the interpretation, it's a problem of the aphorism there, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let me propose to you. So here is we are looking for the problem of interpretation, yeah? So in a way here is the opposite problem. It's not omission, is adding something is not there, right?
Yes.
Okay, Mariana, let me propose to you that we call this problem overinterpretation.
Mhm.
So in a way, it's not false, but you're stretching a bit too much what the aphorism is saying. Yeah, you're
Yep.
adding too much. Do you get do you take it as a
Yep.
name?
I'll take it.
Okay, Sorin, it's true that now we have official accusation from Mariana. It's true that you dare to overinterpret your own aphorism. Do you agree that there is an overinterpretation there or no?
No.
Okay, can you say why you don't think it's an overinterpretation?
Because what I understood is that through the aphorism, we should have put something very simple connected to the concept of lust, something that comes into our mind in that moment, right? And through the interpretation, we extend that somehow.
Okay. But can you show that your aphorism there is something, maybe a word, a concept that could be taken in the way you took in your interpretation?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
To prove that your interpretation fits, you should show something objective in your aphorism that you think is an element that can be interpreted in the way you did. Or there is no such an element.
So the aphorism is saying that lust, so what I connect lust
Yeah.
with, is an intense impulse or emotion.
All right.
And then I give an interpretation to that connection, let's say. And I say that I take the idea a bit further. Intense need that fuels our behavior and so further.
Okay. So there is the idea of intensity, do you agree? And you connect the idea of intensity to the idea of fuels of behavior, right?
Yes.
Okay. But this connection, you made this connection, but it's not in the aphorism, right?
Yes.
Okay. By the way, let me propose to you that there is a previous problem because your aphorism is not a real aphorism, By the way, you just wrote intense impulse of emotion. Aphorism is a sentence, and here is more, there is not a verb. Okay, maybe you see. So aphorism is something more elaborated, yeah. That's why I think Mariana saw that problem because if you say just an idea like intensity, Okay, you can say whatever you want about intensity, yeah? But if you put some elements more in the aphorism, okay, you have to be more attentive to what you propose because it must be connected with the idea, the elaboration of the idea that you propose in the aphorism. So in a way, I think here, yes, there is the problem that Marianne proposed, but it's a problem connected with, let's say, the poverty of the aphorism, yeah? Because could you make an effort now and try to elaborate a bit your aphorism?
So basically, it's what Antonia proposed, the lack of something in the aphorism.
Okay, can you make a full sentence just for fun? Then we have to close, but it's important to see how the procedure are here to follow, yeah, the process.
Okay, I can put in front. Lust is an intense impulse or emotion, for example. And we have the verb.
Okay. Sorry, you are not very generous, by the way, right?
Yes. I mean, I'm not sure.
You are
Maybe
more
we
a
can,
keeper than a giver.
or we can make the interpretation as an aphorism. Because I'm not sure if I understand the interpretation ability fully.
Okay. Okay, you're right. I didn't make an explanation about interpretation. I give that for granted, yeah. But in a way, I did that on purpose because if I don't say anything, in a way, you are revealing your presupposition of interpretation. So now, just to conclude, can you say which is your presupposition, your understanding or understanding of interpretation? What does interpret mean for Soren?
For me, it means exactly this, that I take a stimulus, for example, like this aphorism, and I extend that and try to explain that somehow.
Okay, exactly. Yes. But do you see a problem in this idea of interpretation? I'm not saying it's wrong, but do you see a limit?
It's subjective,
Yes,
can
exactly.
be subjective. Yeah.
Exactly. In a way, you can add anything, and what can you, I mean, nobody can complain to you that it doesn't fit. Yeah.
Yes.
So here, the game is to, in a way, to check if the relation between the interpretation and the original stimulus can be a question, can be an aphorism, can be a text. It makes sense. Yeah. So in a way, your idea of interpretation is a free interpretation. Everybody can say whatever they want. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Do you see the paradigm that you are revealing with this idea of interpretation or no?
No.
Can someone say with the paradigm of thinking where we can put this idea of interpretation? Bogdan, I see Bogdan.
I was thinking about relativism.
Can you explain?
Relativism is the idea that you cannot judge anything because everything is relative and you are free from judgment.
Okay. Soren, do you agree that this idea of interpretation, I'm not saying is bad, but tend to go to the direction of relativism?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
it tends to go in that direction.
Yeah, yeah. And do you see the connection with your existence and this way of thinking or no?
Yes, I see it.
Can you explain just for fun? Then we finish.
I tend to consider a lot of things to be relative and dependent on other things, let's say.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. Now we don't have time to explore this connection, but I like to show the link between what we produce, and it's not just because of you, Soran, or because of Sebastian. Everybody tend to show his tendency. Everybody has a thinking tendency, and I repeat, it's not is bad in itself, but we have to be aware, and we have to be aware also to the limits and the difficulty we produce in our life by being stuck in that paradigm. So the problem is not the paradigm itself, is the relation with the paradigm. So it's important to be able to be flexible and to be able to see things from, let's say, different perspective. And this is one good benefit of this work we are doing in philosophical practice. Okay, so I think we can stop. Maybe there is someone that want to say something to conclude the meeting. Something, maybe you can share one idea you found interesting, something that surprised you, something that, I don't know, you didn't like, anything to conclude. Okay, I see Mariana, I guess.
Yeah. Yes, it's just to give another bibliographical reference to people so that we try to exit a bit the paradigm of the white men. The Reflections of the Erotic, from Bell Hooks, she also explores this topic, and she has an idea that goes hand in hand with Freud and Nietzsche as the lust,
Positive.
the erotic as a vital energy. And yeah, I invite you to all to also read that a bit.
Can you say again the name, please?
It's Bell Hooks. And I don't remember the name of the essay. I will soon write it here because I think it's the of the erotic.
Okay. Please, can you write in the... Okay, Bell Hooks. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mariana. Anything else about the process, meta level? Okay, if nobody want to say something. Mariana, did you raise your hand?
Bell Hooks talks more about the definitions of love. The essay I was searching is Uses of the Erotic by Audre Lorde.
Audre Lorde. Can you type in the chat?
Yeah.
You did already. All right. Okay, let me copy before we finish the...
Bell Hooks if you want to search more about love.
All right.
Both black women.
Okay, so I guess we stop here, and if you want, I see you in 2 weeks with the next Deadly Sin. And for the newers like Sebastian, Marianne, if you want to experiment more during these 2 weeks, you can go to Focus, which is the place where Alex, or maybe Alex, you want to say something about your activities there, no?
Well, I think they all know.
Oh, you know already.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That Mariana.
Because people usually complain I'm not good in advertise, so I'm trying to force myself to be the better advertisement.
It's fun and it's good when you do advertisement for someone else. No, reciprocal advertisement. This is cool.
Yeah. To advertise myself is the next level. I'm not good enough to do it. Yes.
Well, I advertise you, so it's just natural that you advertise me.
Okay.
And let's not envy each other.
Okay, envy is a next next Deadly Sin. All right. Thank you, everybody. It's been fun, and see you in 2 weeks then.
See you.
Thank you too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.